Buenas noches a todo el mundo en este segundo programa de Estraperlo TV. La semana pasada tuvimos a Baboon Show y esta semana ha sido el turno de Gorilla Biscuits. Como habéis visto, hemos cambiado un poco el formato para no hacer la entrevista en medio. Creemos que la intensidad del concierto que fue de Gorilla Biscuits y solo ser 50 minutos merecía la pena hacerlo de seguido. ¿Qué decir? Tener Gorilla Biscuits en Estraperlo era una de esas bandas que nos faltaba poner la crucecita de banda que ha pasado por la sala y muy orgullosos y bueno, qué decir, para mucha gente creo que ha sido el mejor concierto de hardcore que se ha hecho posiblemente en Cataluña en, en la historia o en muchos años como mínimo. Fue un fin de semana muy divertido donde tuvimos también Nations on Fire, Satanic Surfers y un montón de bandas locales. La verdad es que fue increíble, fue dentro del Summer Blast y esperamos que de cara al 2021, a ver si pasa la pandemia, podemos hacer la segunda edición de este Summer Blast con Judge, Spermers, Slapshot y muchas bandas más. Bueno, vamos a pasar a la entrevista. Primero de todo, voy a presentar al entrevistador. ¿Qué decir de mi amigo Martín? Nos conocimos en el 2003 cuando hicimos el primer HFMN Fest. Desde ese momento hemos estado en contacto, ahora más que nunca. Y nada, todas las giras de No Turning Back las hemos hecho desde Hardcore for My Nose, así como desde que él estuvo organizando Son of Revolution y ahora pasó a ser Revolution Calling, pues siempre hemos estado en contacto porque lo hacíamos en fines de semana diferentes para coordinar muchos los grupos. Pues nada, voy a darle la entrada a Martin y hablaremos un poco con él. Hi Martin, how are you?
Good night, world. Good.
Good
I'm
night.
good. What a show was that? What a show was that? I miss hardcore shows.
Yeah, everyone miss hardcore shows, so it's the reason that we are putting those shows on TV right now. So,
Yeah,
how about
lucky
you? We
today.
know you don't have any show now with No Turning Back. What's the situation? Are you recording or something, or what's the idea?
Our last show was February with No Warning. We did 3 shows. It was amazing. We had a couple nice festivals planned up for this year, but yeah, everything gone. So the guys are some of them are recording, some of them are trying to stay sane because that's what we all need to do. Keep your mind. It's crazy. The thing is, we're not able to plan things because every time you're looking forward to maybe we can do something in the end of the year. No, it's not going to happen. So it's hard. It's hard. So yeah.
And are
Live.
you planning to do any kind of sitting show? Because now you mentioned the end of the year, and yesterday I got a flyer where Backfire, Right Direction, Young Ones, and some bands are playing in, I think, in Maastricht. And I got the invitation to go there, but it's going to be kind of freak to see bands like Backfire and people is sitting. I don't know.
I saw it too, and I think it's a great idea, but it's not working for No Turning Back. I want to see people having a good time on the dance floor. I want stage dives. I want people to sing along. I don't want a hardcore punk band. We don't need any restrictions. I don't see it happen that I'm gonna sweat my ass off and people sitting there drinking their beer and their wine, and no. Not for us.
Well, I'm sure we're going to have fun on the backstage for sure on that show. But okay, let's change subjects. What about festivals? Your festival. We know that you did Son of Revolution for 3 years, right?
Yeah,
It was,
correct.
and
Yeah.
now you start your own thing, Revolution Calling. What's the plan, or what you got in mind, or what's? We know that this year
Well,
it's not going to happen
yeah,
because it's supposed to be in 2 weeks.
this year is not going to happen, obvious, like all the others, but we're planning for next year. Yeah, it, the thing is with the Sound of Revolution, everybody knows the Sound of Revolution, and Revolution Calling is the same. It's me doing a festival. The only thing is that I changed my production team, so I'm working with a new group of people with the same mindset as I have. We want to make a great hardcore festival for the kids, by the kids, because I still feel I'm a kid. So, and yeah, hopefully we are able to do it next year.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because if you do it, means that also we can do guest stage calling a week later, because we are always combining
exactly,
some of the bands.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's introduce our other guest. I don't know if it's around. Walter, are you around?
Here.
Ready?
I'm
Okay,
here. I'm
how are
ready.
you?
I'm good. Can you see me? Oh yeah, there I am. Hey, I'm good.
Yeah,
Look at
coolio.
What
that
is
hands.
happening?
Are you in the
What?
streets?
I'm in the street. Yeah, I got stuck in traffic, so I just managed to park like 5 minutes ago. I was watching. I put the video, the phone on the dashboard. Was kind of peeking at it. Sounded
Coolio.
good.
Cool. So let me ask you one question, and then I'll let you with Martin.
Yeah.
What about the show in Badalona? What do you think? You remember? Was a good one for you guys?
Oh my God, it was amazing. I mean, that's like perfect conditions, for a show. I mean, with Gorilla Biscuits, we play a fair amount of festivals and some club shows thrown in here and there. But like for hardcore music, that's like the perfect kind of environment, and the audience was just so 100% committed, and the energy was so just everyone was having such a great time. It was a very memorable show.
Yeah, it was like how many years without coming to Barcelona? Like 11 or 12, something like this.
It had been a time, yeah, and the response in Barcelona is always just amazing. I mean, we GB didn't really we played in I don't know if we even played Barcelona the first time around,
No,
but
it got cancelled.
yeah, so I think we
You
played in
play
Basque,
just in Vitoria, yeah, in the squad
yeah, which was a
in
interesting
91.
show too. Yeah, so to get to come back and play in Barcelona, which is one of my favorite cities in the world, and it was amazing. I had such a great time.
Coolio, thanks.
Walter,
So
does that,
now Martin.
sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. Does that venue where you played in Badalona, doesn't it remind you of CBGB? Kinda.
Um, well, it's got a kind of I think the energy of the people, yes. The layout of the club, um, it kind of has like a almost the stage is higher, and I think there's a bit of a balcony there, which was really cool.
Yeah, you
But
have
the energy
the
is really,
stairs.
yeah, the energy was just amazing, and yes, that was like CB's. But I think even more. Sort of has that unity spirit that when a scene is really strong and everyone just kind of knows each other, and where you can get hundreds of people in a room that feel like a family, and that's where you get, there's no fights, people are jumping all over each other, but no one takes it as a sign of aggression or violence. It's all just a part of this crazy dance that everybody is performing. So that's a special thing.
True. Yeah, I love that venue. I love that venue. Uh,
Yeah.
Favorite in Europe. Like you said, the crowd is so diverse. You have hardcore kids, punk kids, hot, like everyone together, skinheads. Always a good vibe. Cool, cool.
Yeah, there's like such
All right,
it was a real unity vibe.
yeah, this is my first interview ever.
Oh, cool.
I never do interview. Like it's weird to me. I have some questions. I have some
Uh-huh.
questions from friends. So
Uh-huh.
let's see how I gonna if this is my next career change.
I think real good. So bring it.
I would like to know how you deal now the everyday life with what's going on now in the world with the COVID bullshit. How you deal
Oh
with
yeah.
that?
Um, the I've been in upstate New York, so and that's been really nice. I mean, in New York itself, I actually just came back to Brooklyn today for the first time in a while. Like, it's definitely not bullshit here. You get a sense of what it's done to the businesses here and to the the life of a city, and it's devastating, and especially in New York. But I've been upstate New York. I have a place to stay up there, and that's just beautiful countryside. And so, in many ways, it's been nice for me to be in the country and have a chance to appreciate, the changing seasons, and that's something that you don't really get in New York as much as you think, because there's more concrete than anything else. But I still feel that there's a real spirit here in New York, and New York is always a city that bounces back and has a special energy and resilience that I think is still you can really sense that too. So there's a lot of it's a city with a lot of soul, so you still feel that.
Yeah. All right. Talking about New York, how was it to grow up in like as a teenager? In my eyes, and I
uh
think for the rest of the world, if you hear the you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Uh, okay, okay. How was it to
Okay.
grow up in that scene in that time?
uh it was very cool. I lived in high school. Or actually prior to high school, I lived in Rockaway Beach, which is a kind of outside part of the city. It's like at the very edges of the city. And so Manhattan just seemed very far away to me growing up. But then I moved to a neighborhood called Astoria. And in Astoria, you have all these hardcore bands from like Kraut, Murphy's Law, Token Entry, um, Urban Waste. There's just so many amazing hardcore bands from that part of Queens. So when I discovered the hardcore scene and started going to shows in Manhattan as a teenager, it was fantastic, because it was the kind of, I didn't really relate to my high school. I had friends. I was not like necessarily like a freak there, but um, the world of CBGBs and this hardcore scene that was happening with kids from not just New York, but all five boroughs in New York, and stretching out into other states, like and feeling connected even to like the rest of the world through Maximum Rock and Roll, and all the record trading and tape trading and all that kind of thing. It was like another world for me, and one that I felt like it was just so cool, and that unity feeling of just kids that had found the same, that had a lot of common uh, thinking, and it was a cool scene to be a part of, and obviously it still resonates. So I'm really grateful for that.
Exactly, because that was my next question. At the age of 51, you don't look like 51. We all look like still like
Thank you.
teenagers. You still play the same music as which you wrote with Gorilla Biscuits and with Youth of Today when you were a teenager. You're still able to play this music. All about that.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I would have never thought of it then, but I think the songs have obviously, for me, they have a ton of meaning, because these are the songs that are the songs of when I was a kid and growing up, and that I made up with my friends and all the adventures that we've had. But beyond that they are so meaningful to people around the world, people that are my age, and then kids. You know what I mean? Kids. People that were there the first time around that had children, and now their kids are into it and they're fascinated by it, and that the hardcore scene keeps regenerating, and I feel very fortunate to have been involved when I was involved, and to be able to still maintain a connection to that group of friends and to this stream of a musical scene that just it's so much beyond music and beyond fashion, and it's like such a community, uh, and it's just kind of an interesting thing that I did not expect to have happen, for sure.
yeah, yeah. for me, it's no turning back. It's 23 years now, so it's the same thing. I started as a teenager, and I'm 41 now. I'm still doing what I love back then, and I
Yeah,
continue. Yeah, like Stigma. If Stigma can do it, and Roger, we all can do it.
they're
So,
they're inspiration for sure.
yeah, yeah, it's unbelievable, unbelievable. So, all right, I got a couple questions from some friends, and one was I really like this one. Remember, I booked you guys for the Silent Revolution, the first, the winter edition, and it didn't happen. You know, with the
Yeah,
flight bullshit,
yeah. Oh, it's
and
insane.
yeah, it was ridiculous, stupid. But they did a cover, and you grabbed the mic, and there's a question of my friend: would you like to switch with Civ?
Uh,
Like, give Civ guitar, and you from now on just sing.
I don't think that. I mean, I tell you, I have to say that it was really fun that night to sing New Direction. It
It
was
was
so.
great. You were
Oh my god.
amazing.
Thank you. I had a great time. Uh, but man, that's a dangerous job. I mean, people are jumping all over you and just brutalizing you. You know, if you're the singer of a hardcore band, you know, dude, when there's a pile up,
I know.
it looks
I
it
know.
looks good from the back of the from the crowd. But if you're the singer in the front getting piled on, that's not an easy job. So I enjoyed it that night, and but I don't think it could be any other way. I have so much respect and appreciation, especially watching the video tonight, for what Civ does, and he just you know he just owns that role so incredibly well, and it was very fun to visit. But I like playing guitar. It's a safer position, and I can observe what's going on and be a part of it without worrying about breaking my neck.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Is playing guitar your like your favorite instrument, or because you also play bass, you play piano, you
yeah. I like,
yeah.
I enjoy just playing. It doesn't really matter what it is. I think that being a singer is more intense in a live performance. That's just my, you know, if I play with you today and I play bass is the easiest for me. So I can just kind of jump around more and don't have to be concerned as much with like, uh, you know, the performance on that level. So that's really nice. Playing guitar is really cool because there's, especially in Gorilla Biscuits, I get to play the intro to Big Mouth, which is a lot of fun. And singing is great because you get all that that connection with the audience that a singer gets. But you got to watch out for your voice. You have to be. It's a more mental game. So I
Yeah,
like it all.
sure it is. Sure it is. Yeah.
I appreciate all of it.
All right, all right. Another question from a friend. What is the most fun collaboration you ever did?
Uh, I have had so much fun doing, you know, within each band. They're all just so special to me. But one that just really kind of came to mind was doing the Civ record, the Set Your Goals record,
Mhm.
because Civ hadn't been singing or doing any music for a while, and me and my roommate Charlie were kind of like spearheading this idea to get Civ to do a band, and Sam, we hung out all the time, and Arthur hung out all the time, so it was just really awesome coming together, doing the Civ Set Your Goals record together, and kind of touching back on that Gorilla Biscuits kind of vibe, but also doing something that was contemporary and all for fun, and that was really nice. But I tell you, I have so much fun doing like all these projects that I do because I'm involved with with friends that I just can always have a laugh with, and it's I think like if you're getting paid like so much money, like maybe you put up with it not being fun, but to me the riches of it is being with the people that I think are cool, that make me laugh, that support me, and have my back, and can be silly, and also do good work. So uh, I love all those aspects, man. And with each band, we have our own set of jokes and stories, and there's a lot of crossover there too. So it's really nice.
Yeah. So you played also in Warzone. Did you ever wrote something for Warzone? Did you
I
ever?
play. I think I wrote. I will take credit for a couple things. Not major things, but little teeny pieces. First of all, I play bass on As One on the Together compilation, the first Revelation record. So I wrote the bass line for that recorded version. That's me.
Cool, cool,
Uh,
cool, cool.
and that on I think it's God, what's the song? It's too bad we had to go through so much pain. God, there's a song on the Warzone album that I wrote, this kind of sort of like 1950s-y kind of bass line that was sort of funny, and they kept it. I wish I could remember what song it was. Ah, I think if you listen to the record, you'll know what it is when you hear this like. That was my idea.
All right, all right. That's cool. That's cool. How you come up with writing a song? What is your inspiration? How like, because you've been in different band from Youth of Today, Gorilla Biscuit, Quicksand, your own project.
Yeah.
Things sound different, but you hear there's a Walter touch on it in some way. How? Explain.
Um, Thank you. I think it's sort of a psychological compulsion. Like, it's just I think about when I'm not doing anything, a song just comes into my mind, like a melody or a rhythm, and then I kind of feel I have to record it in some way before it'll stop playing in my head. So that's part of it. Just this sort of mental. Oh my God, my dog's running away.
Oy.
That's my wife and my daughter, and my dog. But yeah, I think of songs and I have to kind of put them down to get them out of my head, and uh, and then sometimes if there's like a band or some sort of feeling or some sort of idea that I want to express, then I will just come up with something. If it's like something heavy or something pretty or something clever, or something kind of on some deeper level, like a spiritual kind of feeling,
Mhm.
that I use, uh, you know, through music. I just kind of get that out of my head and out into the world, and then sometimes when it gets in other people's heads, then I feel really, really satisfied with that, because I don't know. I guess music is ultimately about communication, about taking your own sort of uh, good and bad, weirdness, awkwardness, uh, hope, courage, all these kind of things, and putting it out there for other people to capture it, and and
Yeah.
uh, and that happens. When that happens, it's really super satisfying. But even if it doesn't happen, I still just keep writing. I don't, like I said, it's a compulsion, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're in it, yeah, you have to. For some reason, you
Yeah.
need to out of the system, out of the system. Cool. Um, what do you miss most of Alex from Alex? You know,
Man, there's just I mean, I don't know if you've ever lost a friend like on that level, a close friend like that, but I mean, there's just
Yeah.
too much. I mean, there's certain things. Alex's sense of humor was one of the things I loved most about him, but he was also had such a big heart and just such a loving person, and he was just so sharp and interested in art and music, and so he always had an interesting opinion. So you could talk to him uh, about culture, and he's just a really cool, interesting guy, man. I love him so much. I mean, there's just like there's no like there's certain things about him that would just make me laugh so hard, or like uh, he's just a great guy, man. I mean, it sucks like that part of life is that you have to go through these losses, and I'm just very. It's kind of like a rug pulled out from under me, but in a bigger picture, it's just you have to be grateful for the experiences that I'm very grateful for the experiences that I've had with him, that I traveled the world with him, that we were so close and in each other's like lives, like brothers. And so that's very, very, I feel very rich and grateful for that. And, I carry around Alex's story and his jokes and his, times that we had together that, make me a cooler person, and make me feel like just fortunate.
Yeah, I'm happy I've met him. It's
Yeah.
he like you said, it was an amazing and different person than most people are, and yeah, I think the scene and all his friends and family dearly miss him. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
way too early. Way too early. Yeah,
Yeah.
way too early. All right, David, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Um, I got one question that it's a curious question because Walter, you live in Berlin for a few time, right?
Yes. For a few years
So
in
for a few
2000s.
years actually. Right? So my question is, and I'm sure Martin can also participate in that. So both scenes, Berlin scenes. You come from New York scene. It's funny because I'm pretty sure that Berlin scene it's much bigger than New York scene on audience on the shows. But New York bands play in Berlin, and I never see any Berlin band playing in New York. So
Yeah.
why
I
make
think it's
this
just a thing.
different?
Uh, I mean, it's not for punk bands necessarily or hardcore bands that, it's just, America's so hard to play. It's just like, if you can make it to New York, you still got to pay for a hotel or something. And there's just not a big enough, and even if you have a good show in New York, you then have to drive super far, even to go to Boston or, by European standards. It's just such a tough country to crack. So, I think it's harder for European bands, especially like hardcore or punk ones, where there's really not even a big financial, support base to do it. So I guess that's probably why. And just New York hardcore is a thing. I mean, it's not all hardcore scenes are equal. So
Uh,
it's Berlin. Berlin is a home for hardcore, for New York hardcore, and Berlin understands that kind of music, and in a way that I don't think any other city outside of New York really does. There's just some
yeah,
sort of like connection that is they just get it, and so I'm not fighting it. I love it, like, and I think Berlin, they work as a, I know that what's going on in Berlin inspires things that are happening in Europe, and so they play an important role in keeping this sort of whole hardcore family, vibe going. And I think they're very important in
that's
that.
for sure. Yeah,
Shout
that's
out
for
to
sure.
Cortex.
Cortex
Definitely.
is
Yeah,
so big up, man. Those guys rule, and that's
yeah,
not just for like New York hardcore, but that's like hardcore worldwide, and
yeah,
they carry that well.
yeah,
But it is definitely yeah. I've seen it with No Turning Back. We've toured the States 10 times, and not many bands know that, but we've been there 10 times, and it's so hard for a European band. Doesn't matter where you're from Berlin to Eindhoven, from Barcelona. Doesn't matter. It's hard to play for an American crowd. It's
It is.
you have to prove yourself. You have to show like, no, we are not copycats of maybe the scene that you guys started. We have our own good band. We have quality. And this is us. Take it or leave it.
I think it's just hard because there's also no follow up. You know what I mean? Like, I think with New York hardcore in the early, like when Youth Today first came to Europe, and then within the same year, Gorilla Biscuits came, and then within a year of that, Sick of It All came, and we're playing in these squat scenes that really sort of, I think, inspired a lot of European bands and kind of laid a certain sort of groundwork that Europeans understand these American bands, and because Europe had a squat scene, and not only just a squat scene, but a like a sort of like, these kind of youth houses that you'll see in Germany or probably in where there's some state sponsorship of the concerts, where the band can stay that night and all that kind of stuff. They don't have that in the United States at all. So even if you come over here and have a good tour, you can't follow it up the next, 6 months later, because it's just too difficult. And so I blame capitalism,
probably. Okay, cool. Just to finish, what about with all your bands, Walter? What are the new projects or what are you doing? For sure, we know there is no shows, but are you recording or planning something with any of your bands?
Yeah, I'm working on a bunch of stuff, but I'm kind of keeping my cards close to my chest right now. That's
Okay,
that's if that so that when it comes out, it's more surprising. So, but
okay.
yeah, I'm working on a lot of interesting projects in this time of COVID, where I have the time on my hands
Yeah,
So,
to do it.
so basically, for every band you're in, a new record.
It could be, that could be one. There's a lot of speculation. We'll see. We don't know.
Okay,
All right.
okay, guys. Thank you very much for a cool night. I hope we can see each other physical soon. Well, with Martin, probably I will see him soon. Not with Walter, but I hope we can meet each other very soon. Probably next year for sure.
Yeah.
Me too,
Thank you very
guys.
much.
Too.
So great to
Thank
see you
you.
guys both, man. Miss you guys. Be good.
Be
Stay
good.
safe.
Thank you. Stay safe.